Welcome back. This is Patrick the Attorney. We're going to go over some of the important points that are being brought up in the Alex Murdaugh jury trial. And one of the main points that we heard the prosecution bring up was the dog kennel and the water around the dog kennel. We've heard some of the other talking heads on TV discuss, well, is it possible that Alec washed himself off? Well, anything's possible, but is that a reality? Anybody that's dealt with dogs, especially in the South, you're going to know a kennel needs to be washed out. When you're washing out a kennel on a daily basis, where does that water go? It goes to the surrounding areas. Does it mean that Alex took a hose and washed himself off after he allegedly killed his son and wife? I doubt it. What else we got here? Here we go. This is, we'll call it, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. This is the prosecution saying, well, you know what? Alec was just too clean. The bodies were covered in blood, and how could he have rolled them over or even touched them and not have any blood on him? Well, you know what? He didn't do it, or he did do it. But it's the damned if you do, damned if you don't. He's too clean means, oh, okay, he was extra careful in not getting blood. But what would have happened if he had blood on him? Oh, they say, oh, of course he killed him. There's blood on him. So the prosecutor's playing both sides of the coin here. What else we got here? Let's talk about tire tracks. You're going to hear, actually, Dick Harpootlian talked a lot about the tire tracks. And he was examining as state expert. You could kind of look at what went on as he's examining the expert. He's laying down, we'll just call it a Miller mousetrap or a Silva sand trap. What he's doing is he's laying down, well, the rule. What's the rule? The rule is that as a investigator, you have to do this, 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 and this. If you're the crime scene person, did you do this, 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 and this? No. There's tire tracks. They weren't properly identified, weren't properly marked, and it's going to leave, I think, a big hole for Alex to argue that, hey, somebody came up, they drove their tire tracks right up to the kennel, I had left, gone to my mom's, and they murdered his wife and son. All right, there's a lot of talk about this shell casing and the 300, I forgot what they're called. We'll just call them the 300 shell casings. The shell casings, the prosecutor spent a lot of time. He goes, oh, yeah. So he's interviewing one of the cops. Oh, yeah, what did you see by the front door? You saw some old weather shell casing, and they were the same type. Oh, yeah, they're still the same type and the same brand. And you had some shells in the house were the same type and brand as that shell casing. Well, you know what? I'm going to bet, and I'm not going to say I'm positive, but I bet the defense can bring in an expert who works for that particular bullet manufacturer, round manufacturer, gun casing manufacturer, and they're going to say, well, yeah, this particular, I'll just call it black mag, this 300 shell casing, in this area, we sell over 100,000 cases a month, 100,000 a year, 100,000 in 5 years, but there's going to be everybody who shoots that type of rifle in that area. There's a lot of shell casings. Just because that the shell casings used, or at least found down by the dog kennel, that were the alleged shell casings from the murder, doesn't mean that they were taken from the house and used. Now, let's kind of play devil's advocate here. You have a high-powered lawyer, Alec Murdaugh. He's been an actual prosecutor forever. He's been an actual prosecutor as a volunteer prosecutor, appointed on cases. He's been in the attorney game for a long time. Do you really think that if he did this, and I'm not saying he did or didn't, but let's put ourselves in the defense shoes. If you really think that he committed these murders, do you really think that he would have taken the exact same shells from the exact same box from within his house and used them in a gun, which they owned two of at least and lost one of? So remember, of that AR type rifle, they could count for two because his son Paul had one stolen. Anyway, this is Patrick the Attorney, and tomorrow's witnesses, that will be on Tuesday, January 31st. I don't know who's lined up for tomorrow, but we'll see. I'll give you a recount after this. Have a great day.